just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center. CNN Center right now is just beginning to work on this story, obviously calling our sources and trying to figure out exactly what happened, but clearly something relatively devastating happening this morning there, the south end of the island of Manhattan. That is, once again, a picture of one of the towers of the World Trade Center. It's on the telephone right now. Jean, what can you tell us about what you saw?
I can tell you that I was watching TV and there was this sonic boom and the TV went out and thought maybe that the Concorde was back in service because I've heard about those sonic booms, and I got up to my window. I live in Battery Park City right next to the Twin Towers, and I looked up and the side of the World Trade Center exploded.
I say the whole takes about, looks like 6, 7 floors were taken out. And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Hold on just a moment. We got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay.
Y'all see who's going back the other direction into that. So 3,000 individuals lost their lives up there. And there were firemen and policemen going up the stairs, right, to help get people out when those buildings collapsed. More firemen lost their lives that day, I believe, than any other day in American history. But from you all, tell me your thoughts from what you saw. What did that make you feel when you saw that?
Seeing people covered in all the smog and the fog and the lady just laying on the table saying she was so tired and she looked just so hurt.
Couldn't even get up. She couldn't even get up and walk away from it. She was just exhausted, right?
I was just saying, it's like crazy to think that people were literally walking and driving towards the building after the fact the South Tower had collapsed. Like, going into harm's way to go to help people.
Family members, friends, unknown who worked there, and who was in there.
It's crazy to think because people are literally inside that smoke right there, inside the debris.
Yeah, you can't even see through it in the middle of the morning, right? What do you say, 10, 11 o'clock now in the afternoon now, both towers have fell, and they're hiding from the smoke. Yeah, you can't even see what's going on.
So for those of you that were alive during when this happened, like from when that happened in 2001 to where we are here in 2021, what like major changes have you seen just for security, like just overall, what changes?
I can think of one that came, I don't know if it happened before we got here or they definitely harped on it when we first, when we were going through like our FTO period, was going to plain speech radio talk. Because they found during this, all your different jurisdictions had different 10 codes. And as everybody gets on the same radio channel to talk to each other to make it through this, nobody knew what the others were saying.
Real IDs is because of this. The getting the star on your ID card is because of this. And we are years past the original deadline for that.
I didn't find out about 9/11 until I was like 9 or 10, just being nosy on YouTube, and I come across it. My grandma, she lived in Albany at the time, so she was able to tell me like all the stories, or like just the stories of people that were supposed to go in the World Trade Center that day, but maybe they stopped at Dunkin' Donuts to get coffee and never went in the building.
Yeah.
But
called off sick to work. Yeah, that's a great point. Wow.
I have personally been very lucky. I've had a lot of very kind people discuss their experiences surrounding 9/11. I know several people who left their states all across the country and went. I know people who stayed behind because somebody had to stay behind. The story my parents tell is they were at college at the time in the UP with my brother. He was about 3, and all planes in the state in general were being rerouted everywhere. So a plane that was supposed to be going over New York at the time was being rerouted to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan because every airport had been filled. Something I choose to think about a lot with 9/11 is not just the attack itself, which was extremely horrible, but all the people that have been lost since then because of the lung issues that came about with it, the illnesses that started popping up, things that were directly connected to the 9/11 attack, and that was police officers helping cleaning up, and that was firefighters, and that was random civilians searching for the bodies afterward.
What we talked about surrounding this photo.
Covered in asbestos.
Can you tell sex,
No.
creed, religion, color, sexual orientation? Can you tell any of that about the people on that screen? That's what we looked like a month after everything was over. Everybody looked exactly the same. You couldn't tell. And we loved each other because we were all Americans and we were all in it together.